Hey you guys, I'm gonna do my check-in before I go to bed. I just did a stream about Diddy. I wanted it to be short because we got to get back into some regular commentary. But here we go. Rocky 850 days sober, doing the darn thing. It's just a lot of things that's different. I definitely want to keep my streams light and you know, going forward I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things. I've been feeling a little out of it these days, but I'm starting to feel better. Thank y'all for those of you that was praying for me and up with me and talking to me. Things are definitely getting better, so I definitely wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate y'all support, and I'm here for you guys. Just look for my uploads, watch my shorts and stuff like that, and you can kind of see. I haven't even been able to stream about Trump lately. That's how out of it I've been, but I'll try to do that tomorrow. Other than that, you guys, I'm still here. I have school tomorrow. I don't have work. I'm gonna go to work on Thursday, and that's just it. So things are good. Things are good. Before I went on this trip that I just went on, I felt like I was at a good pace, and then I had a setback, and then I kind of, so now I'm getting back on track. So that's just what it is. I know when I'm watching things on live, a lot of things I have to turn off because it's not good for my mental health. And I don't think that anything on this app should cause people to lose sleep, lose friends. Some of that stuff is just for clicks and views. I don't believe it. I've seen it behind the scenes. Some of that stuff is just clicks and views. But I think that you take your subscribers on a roller coaster when you're doing all the fighting and making up and all that stuff. But that's neither here nor there. I can't tell people what to do on this app. But as for me, I just really got to a point that I'm not interested. I would much rather be this boring in you, so they say, whatever. They can't stop talking about me, but than to have my life chaotic for some. What's good, Pizarro? I was just doing. I don't know why you didn't get a notification. I think because I was just live talking about Diddy. Pizarro, did you just do a live stream talking about he's not guilty earlier? I saw your title. Ciao. Anyways, I just came on. Why are you up so late, Pizza? I'm just up chatting with you guys. Trying to get back into the live stream thing because it's been a minute. But yeah, so how can you say that with the evidence and the video and the stuff that's out there? So you don't believe Cassie in the video? You can't sleep yet? Oh, why can't you sleep, Pizza? I do want to hear your views on it. Are your kids in bed? I know I can't sleep yet either. I'm doing laundry, so I'm just up. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting, this case with him. I just did a stream about that. I'm gonna make a video probably later tonight, you guys. So I see him starting to smile again. Right? Yeah, but again, I'll try to come out earlier so I can actually chat with y'all. But right now I'm just like, all right, I'm just keeping to myself these days. All right. But no, things are good. Hang on, there's a ringing in the back. Okay, so anyways, I hope that y'all are doing all right. I have to start coming out earlier and chatting with y'all. But again, a lot of the things that I see online is like, I'm not that interested in it because I'm all up into this election, and now you got these cases and stuff like that. You don't believe Cassie? What? Pizarro, let me ask you why. Why don't you believe Cassie when there was a video? I watched the video. He's innocent like Trump? Okay, he's not innocent like Trump because Trump is innocent. I know that Pizarro is trolling me. I'm not gonna say. Okay, so is he guilty of all the charges? I can't really say that. The racketeering and all of that, but if they're trying to say that he was trafficking women and things like that, that's going to be hard not to, because that's hard not to believe. What's good, Antonio? Let me drop a link for y'all. There's just a few of us here, but just in case y'all want to chat with me, I'm really not talking about anything. My check-ins, whatever, is just open. I have no topic when I'm just up with you guys because I can't sleep yet. Trump was at Epstein Island, girl. Okay, so Trump is already having a tough time. His second assassination attempt. Why are they trying to take this man out? And you want to know what I find interesting is that this Diddy indictment happened at the same time. You don't hear anybody talk about how they almost took out the former almost president-elect, right? They almost took him out. And people are saying that his ear thing wasn't real. His ear thing was real. He almost lost an ear. And then he had the second attempt on his life. And then this is happening with Diddy. That's fake, girl. But we were hushed. Pizarro, what's fake? The fact that he almost lost his ear. Poor former President Trump. It's people like you. That's why, number one, somebody lost their life over it, over trying to. And if it wasn't for the grace of God, Trump wouldn't be here. So I would like for us to remember that a life was spared twice. That shows you right there that God wants him to be president, because why would he keep saving him? Trump is for the United States of America. He believes in putting America first. Now, y'all know I'm not about to do politics right now, but that man almost lost his ear. And all I keep hearing from people is that he's orange, he's a criminal, and he's none of those things. You saying Trump was at Epstein Island, girl. Pizarro, so you're not going to believe Cassie where there's a video, and you want to believe all this stuff against Donald Trump? Are you even going to vote this year? Now, I hear that some people are saying that. Some people are like, oh, MU, she's trying to push Trump on us. No, I'm not. Y'all don't see me. I think that people should be well informed, and I think that you should be well informed, right? But there's some people, like I said, that invite me to their chats, Ronnie Q, and then I get blocked out of timed out of the chat every time I voice my opinions. I think that it's important to hear both sides. It's important to hear from the Democrats side and the Republicans. All right. Why would I vote for two evils? But you can vote for since you're not Republican, it's okay that you don't vote, but you could vote for your local representatives and the bills that's on there. Remember, it's not just a presidential election. Hold on. Got something. What's this? Trump. Wait, let me see this. Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. No links shown in latest documents. That's right. There are no links that link Trump to Jeffrey Epstein, right? At all. So you guys are wrong. It's right here in this article.
This was published in the Washington Post.
That's right. It was published in the Washington Post. Yeah. So all these lies about Trump being all these places, let me tell you something. No. You're not either. Pizarro, you don't vote. You don't vote. So what are you talking about? I said the same ish. MU. Someone tried to get Trump and okay, so I need to watch. I did watch part of your video, but you got me with that title. Someone tried to get Trump and the day of the rest with Diddy. Nobody finds it strange. I do find it strange. I find it strange with the timing of it. I think that so they were already investigating Diddy, so we can't tie those two together for real. But so Diddy was supposed to turn himself in Tuesday. They arrested him that Monday without him turning himself in. I think that happened for a couple of reasons because, they wanted to show that they're tough on crime. Headlines, obviously, like, hey, you know what? I don't care how wealthy you are. We're going to take you in. So you got to take all that into account. I do think the timing of it, I find that interesting. Was it a coincidence? I can't say for sure. but it did overshadow what was happening with Donald Trump. But we have that guy in custody, and so that's what it is. Why would I vote for two? He was okay. I don't. Hey, Vibrant, good to see you. I don't think God gets involved in politics. He'll let us make our own mistakes and hopefully learn from them. As for Diddy, he too will have to learn from mistakes. Vibrant, do you think that he's guilty? Because a lot of people are saying that he's not like Pizarro. But I do agree with you. She went to Epstein Island. There were photos of Trump partying with him. The Washington Post said that wasn't true, Pizarro. So you said you don't think God gets into politics. Well, maybe he doesn't, but I do think that God's spirit is life. Because if he would have moved an inch to the left or an inch to the right, he probably wouldn't be here. And just think about it. He had 2 assassination attempts. I don't care if it was Kamala or Trump. That shouldn't happen. That shows a threat to our national security. It just shouldn't happen. That's right. It shows a threat to democracy as well. So yeah, Pizarro, I cannot agree with you about Trump being on Epstein Island. Speaking of which, who was that guy? Was it Weinstein that also had a trafficking charge or something? What was that guy's? Never mind, I don't know the guy's name. Vibrant says, I would never pretend to know if Diddy is guilty or not. I really have no way of knowing. I don't like to prejudge. That's true. That's true. But at least your mind is open, because some people are just saying that he's not guilty. Some people are comparing it to R. Kelly, Cosby. I would definitely say they're calling him disgraced because of all the things, but Hollywood is just a place where wild things happen. You have a lot of powerful people with a lot of money, and we're going to see some stuff, right? Now, as far as Cassie and all that, I don't know, you guys. I'm just going to watch. They're talking about Kim Porter now again. Maybe she didn't die from the flu. So there's just a lot. There's just a lot that's going on, you guys. So I'm just trying to, just stay afloat with that. I'm more okay. So as of, you must be open-minded in order to learn. I like to learn. So do I, Vibrant. So do I. So you guys, I'll be watching with the rest of you. I'm more into the election than anything else, because that's something that's going to affect our lives. The stuff that's happening with Diddy and things like that, I think is kind of a distraction, and it's right before the election. Why are these things happening before the election? We have, it's a distraction. Antonio says this is wild. The thing that's the most important is the election. I wish I could be in Washington. I hope I can be in Washington for the inauguration. Washington, D.C. It's going to be history. If Kamala, she's not going to win. I would like for my daughter to go to the White House. My daughter, I don't know which way she's going to vote. It's her first year voting. But I'm interested in Trump. I want it to be a fair election. And that's really what I'm into, because that's going to affect our lives, y'all. Inflation is out of control. Then we have the border stuff that's happening and this is what matters. The stuff that's happening with Diddy, we're talking about some wealthy people that have their lives together, and that's going to happen. Vibrant says, I'm more interested in the election than celebrity news.
What do they have, 5 million illegals in this country every year? That's like, there's 15 million illegals in this country right now. Can you imagine Kamala, if she were in the next 4 years and 4 years after, and then bringing in 5 million a year? That'd be like 40 extra million illegals in this country. If it was now, there'd be like 55 to 60 million illegals in this country.
I don't
8 years.
I don't know if you guys can hear what he's saying, but we're a very Republican family. Okay. So if you couldn't hear in the background, he's talking about the border, how many people come into the border illegally and stuff like that. So, another stream for another day. We'll talk about it. I don't know if they could or not. I don't know. I can't tell. What else is going on? Jacob said, Distractions. Could you guys hear him? I don't know. Distractions, beautifully speaking. Trump, yes, but Babylon is already falling and it will soon come to naught. I'm trying not to push my Republican values on people because I'm not trying. I just like people to be open-minded. And so far, the talks that when I go into a chat because they're speaking about politics, I get blocked. And I don't like that, you guys. It makes me want to hit the link. So I would just rather stay away. But because so many in the sectors that I go to, not the political sectors, because they're mostly Republican where I go, but in the sectors I go, they're speaking about Kamala putting down Republicans and our ideas. So I try to hit the link only to get blocked or timed out. And I just think that you need both sides. So a lot of times when I'm jumping on the platforms, it's to offer the other side. But then they start talking about my past, talking about I'm on drugs and stuff like that, which doesn't have any place in the conversation. So, I'm just going to keep myself over here in my little corner of the world, y'all. So, so that's that. No. Thank you, Folklore. And I was going to go up. I wish I would have went over there when Tommy was on a link, but I got there late. It was nice to have another Republican up there. Thank you, Folklore. You had a question for the other day. I wish, I don't remember what it was, but I thought that was a good discussion. I could have played that for you guys. That panel that I was on over there with Senator, I have to say this, right? It's not often that if you present a good argument, you'll have me thinking about stuff. And the people that was on that panel left ideas, but they made sense. And I really appreciated that they pulled out a source and a video that I could watch. So I did have to rethink some stuff. They talked about January 6th. I'm going to tell you about January 6th. So they're talking about the insurrection. I do not like that word. And I don't like that word associated with Donald Trump at all. But I'm going to tell you that January 6th is that made me rethink a lot of things. I'm still rocking with the Republicans because I have traditional values, but I can always appreciate a panel where there's, both sides. I don't really do the liberal thing, y'all know that, or the independent thing. It's two major parties. We're not going to see an independent president, and there's reasons for that. Good night, Antonio. Good night. Thank you for stopping by. I know that it's late, y'all. I'm just talking. I'm only gonna be here for a couple more minutes unless y'all have something that y'all want to throw at me. But I wanted to do this check-in for a lot of reasons. It's like I haven't really been able to stream because you guys know that I've been going through my own thing. And when I'm going through a lot, I don't want to put that on you guys at all. How many streams are you gonna do with, what? How many streams can you do? Tears and stuff. We can't keep doing that. So that's why I kind of took a break. You trying to say something?
As you say, look at the definition of insurrection.
Oh, the insurrection.
It says the definition.
Insurrection. What qualifies as is this one?
The top one, yeah.
Okay, insurrection, a violent uprising against an authority or government. The insurrection was savagely put down. So you're trying to say that January 6th is inaccurately called the
it's not insurrection, it's more of a protest.
So why do people call it an insurrection?
To make it look bad. The Supreme Court already said that.
Do you want me to go on mute?
Okay.
Oh.
The Supreme Court already said that what Donald Trump was involved with was not an insurrection.
I agree with you.
It's not considered insurrectionist. It's like an insurrection is where you get a violent group of people trying to overthrow the government. If a group of violent people that were armed suddenly rushed the White House with the president there and started shooting and trying to take it over, that's an insurrection. A bunch of people protesting at the Capitol is not an insurrection, but it just sounds sensationalized. just for emotional effect, to get people to hate against other people, to try and influence them into thinking that it was seriously that bad when it wasn't.
I could dig it. I have to agree. I agree. Now, my family, like my mom and my dad, they're all Democrats. And so this election, I agree with you. I think I agree with you that they're calling it an insurrection to sensationalize it. But it came up on the platform that was on 2 days ago, like a few days ago, when they were talking about January 6th and an insurrection. But I think that anytime it comes to Trump, they sensationalize everything and they want to blame him, but you can't blame him per se.
The Supreme Court already ruled that all the people who were involved with that got arrested, tried, and charged and tried and put in prison over it, that they should vacate all those convictions because it didn't fall within that category. It was not correct in how they were charged and convicted. They actually sent us to vacate all of that.
I don't know if some of the mofos needed to be locked up, but actually the ones that needed to be locked up probably didn't. We're gonna have differences of opinions there. See, you guys, I'm very open-minded. What am I feeling? Yeah. I know. Yeah, you guys, there's a lot that's going on. But all right, you guys, what was I saying before the insurrection I was talking about before I go to bed? Oh, there's only so many streams I was gonna come on here like heavy. I want to get back to talking about some stuff and kind of getting back in the swing of things. And I'm glad that Vegas is done. I think we're done talking about it, right? Besides a few stuff, and I'm just ready to move on. Didn't they, the Capitol Police open the doors though? Not excusing the basement activities is all hogwash. What side are you on, Jacob? It kind of will help me understand your question a little bit. Didn't they, the Capitol Police, they're asking this, let me ask you. Didn't the Capitol Police open the doors?
Yes, they did. There was also FBI agents in there as like people were supposed to be monitoring what's going on, and they were kind of like encouraging people to kind of act out. And there were some people who actually had on film who were being more violent, like taking that metal bar, I think it was, and breaking a window. And that person there, they never showed a trial on that person because they were suspected to be a Democratic influencer in there. Like not Democratic, but Democrat influence in there, trying to get people stirred up, to get other people involved and get them in trouble. But that person was never convicted.
And you also had Democrats pretending to be Republican, just to stir things up, and that was proven. You had agitators. Now, again, I do not want you guys to think I'm making excuses for what happened on January 6th. Vibrant said, coup, insurrection, sedition. What does sedition mean? No matter the term, it happened. It did happen. But
those people, basically, all they were doing was trespassing. Because they didn't break in or because the doors were not let in. They weren't supposed to be there, so for the most part, they're just trespassing. That's all they're doing.
Okay.
I can really think about it as far as the law is concerned. It's not even a felony.
I think that when I watched the videos were really disturbing. Even though I have very conservative views, I still watch it. I'm like, The only thing that does bother me is I don't believe that they were all Republican. I believe that I believe that there's a lot of Democrats there.
Also, the police officer that supposedly died during the event, didn't he die of a heart attack the next day?
Why did they say he died?
Because he did die. There was a heart attack the next day. He didn't die the day of the January 6th. He died the day after from a heart attack. And they're trying to affiliate his death at the scene there that a bunch of violent protesters killed him. That wasn't the case.
Okay.
See, they're trying to connect the death to the event. but the death was unrelated event. The death happened later on. The guy died of a heart attack. He was one of the officers.
Yeah, I have to refresh my memory on January 6th, you guys. I think I'll revisit it. And there's two things I want to refresh my memory on: January 6th, and for some reason 9/11 has been coming up a lot on my news feed. So I need to refresh my brain on some of these things. So I'm not trying to be insensitive, but when I was studying it, that was a little while ago. Sedition is the incitement of resistance to or insurrection against lawful activity. Thank you. Do you guys feel that it was an insurrection? I don't like that word just because I like sedition. I like that word, but the way that they're trying to use it and villainize Donald Trump, it's just crazy. Now, since we're talking about Donald Trump, let's talk about this debate. I just revisited 9/11. It's coming up a lot on these news feeds. Vibrant, I need to do it as well. They've been talking about Saddam. They've been talking about Bin Laden and showing the arrest and those kind of things. And was it Saddam, the hanging? Those things are coming back up. So maybe it has to do with the election, or maybe it's a reminder. I love the history lesson in that. So, whew. Yeah, it's so funny when I'm talking politics. My daughter, she goes in the other room, and I've been talking to her a lot about politics, and I just know, you guys know, it's one of my favorite subjects. It's important. 9/11 is important. It's important to remember. Let me go on mute real fast. He's making a lot. Shush. What was I talking about before I got distracted? Oh, the debate. I feel the debate, the presidential 2024 debate with Kamala and Trump was very biased. Every time Trump said something, they wanted to fact check it. They were asking him things about the past that had nothing to do with the election. And he took the bait. I don't feel that he lost the debate. I feel that he won the debate, but I do think there are some moments that was disappointing. Vibrant says the debate was awful. I do think the debate was awful. I'm glad they addressed fracking on Kamala's side. I'm glad. But y'all know the moderator was in the same sorority as Kamala. I feel it was biased. I just do. I think it should have been someone from, I don't know. I just feel it was biased. They should have had somebody from Fox News there as well, or like a very conservative person. But I don't think it showed either in their best light. It felt more like a trial. I agree, Vibrant. I agree. Trump said he's not going to agree to another debate. We saw that awful one with Biden, and then he did that one with Kamala. I think now when it comes to election, I don't know. I'm going to say I think that Trump is going to win on the electoral vote. I'm not so sure about the popular vote. It doesn't matter. It only matters about the electoral vote, but we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see. But when people say that their vote doesn't matter, your vote absolutely matters. But I can't. It's hard for me when people just say, hey, I'm not going to vote because it doesn't matter. I kind of understand. I just think they don't understand the electoral college and how that works. The electoral college is there because if not, there's a lot of reasons why. And some of it could be embedded in like a racist history, whatever. I don't know. But for me, the larger states will have a bigger advantage over smaller states, an unfair advantage. So that's one of the reasons why it's in place, but it's definitely not the only reason. Jacob says she ain't even black. Why wasn't that called out or highlighted? I think it wasn't called out because it's controversial, because I think that's a hard thing to call out, because you're going to have people that says that she's absolutely black. Now, I don't believe the whole I wash my collard greens in a bathtub. I don't believe it. The race thing, no, she doesn't have African ancestry. She doesn't. But nevertheless, some people, I feel, hold on, that people are wanting to vote. I'm not going to vote for you just because, let's just say if she was black, right? I mean, I'm not going to talk about the race thing because whatever, is neither here nor there for me at this point. I just don't know why is it thrown in our face so much. I'm not going to vote for somebody just because they're a woman. I'm not going to vote for somebody just because they're black. I'm going to vote for the person I feel is the best for the country. And for me, that person happens to be Donald Trump. I had a problem with Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala because I feel that these celebrities are celebrities, and it's not their job to persuade people one way or the other. And I feel the same with content creators and influencers. Okay, vibrant. Whatever you are, it was quick and shady. Is that what Trump said? How you doing, Hustler? I don't know if I greeted you earlier. Okay, about Kamala. Why does her accent change depending on what city, what state she's in, and what group of people she's talking to? Right. I just find her inauthentic. I live in California. I feel she over prosecuted. She did not try to align herself with the black race anything. And now all of a sudden it's at the forefront of everything. Be who you were when you were, here in California, right? I'm just not buying it. I think that we need somebody that's authentic. No matter what you guys say, you see who Trump is. He's transparent. He doesn't hide who he is. And some people like to talk about things that he said in the locker room, but they refuse to talk about things that was said by the other party. And I'm interested in what he's doing now. I don't care about his personal life. He is traditional. He has his family intact. And I'll be fair, Kamala has her family too. Trump is for traditional values. And people like to say, hey, Chef, I said I was not going to do politics, but they brought it up. So whatever. So if you're for traditional values, because I was asked over when there was a debate over there in a conscious community, right? Why Donald Trump? Or was I asked that? Why Republicans? Something like that. Traditional values, border control. That's important. I don't believe that everybody should have the right to vote. That's an American right. It's a right for an American citizen. You can't go to another country and vote in their elections. So that's going to be big. American jobs. Inflation is a big deal. Livable wages is a big deal. More jobs. Decreasing the amount of poverty. Things like that. Those are things that matter. We have the right to bear arms. We need to have the right to bear arms. So those are reasons why I would stick with Republican. Trump happens to represent the Republican Party. If there was another Republican president, we could talk about that. But that's who we have. So, Chef, I've been watching your videos. Chef, you crack me up. We never really heard their plans for the future, perhaps a little by Trump, but nothing from Kamala, really. Nothing from her. And I understand what you mean, Barbara. Nothing from her at all. And why does she stand there all day thanking people instead of actually getting into the policies and how she's going to do X, Y, and Z? She hasn't done that. Trump does talk about the things that he wants to do, he's cutting finances to all these other countries and the wars. He talks about ending the wars. When Trump was in office, there was no war. When he was president-elect, there were no wars, right? And now we're back. Bring these troops home on American soil where they're safe and talks about changing the status of China, and all those kind of things. And there's a lot of things. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And I feel that Kamala had all this time in office as vice president. She wasn't like Michelle Obama, who was very vocal. She was quiet. And even when Joe Biden got sick, we still didn't hear much from her except for her to tell us how competent he supposedly was. And we can clearly see his health declining. So I am worried about this election. It's coming up. November is right around the corner. So I am going to stay involved. I'm going to stay aware. And I'm nervous about what's going to happen. I think that never before have we seen the vice presidents becoming, going from vice president nominee to president nominee. I feel like they're trying to keep Democrats in office and not turn that over. And I'm just not trusting it. at all. Okay. Cam Camo sounded to rehearse had to be Trump. Had Trump not taken a bait, she would have been up the creek. I agree with it. She is a smart lady, vibrant. She is. She's very smart, highly intelligent. But she doesn't talk about policies at all. And it seems as if she's using her right now. She's the new one. It's like, wow, go, and she's using that to where she doesn't. Y'all know what I'm talking about, like her. What do you call it? Biden dropped out, so then you have Kamala, and everyone's endorsing her. It's like the excitement factor and all that stuff she's using to her favor, but she's not really addressing the issues. And now she's saying that she was never the border czar. She was the border czar. She was appointed the border czar. Okay, but she did nothing to protect the borders, and now they're talking about just letting the illegal immigrants in. And look at what's happening to the country. There's no way to deny that. I live here where you could see, we're at the border, you could see people crossing in. Border Patrol did nothing. They were there mostly just for show. They looked the other way as people were crossing illegally. I live in California, and you can go to the border and watch this stuff. Big facts. Everything we work to accumulate is being given to free votes. Of course, they are going to favor the ones giving them the handouts, giving out handouts, housing, things that we can't get as American citizens, and I feel is problematic. The immigrants coming in don't understand the Black struggle. They think that everybody should be able to pull themselves up, but they're given things, and they're given it so they can go for the Democratic Party, and they're really trying to push that. But again, voting is an American right. They were trying to make it so anybody could vote. You could vote without IDs, and you didn't have to verify if you were legal here or not. And I think that's problematic, and there's a reason for that. I just want a fair election. That's it. I want it to be fair, but that's our right as citizens. I don't want to see that given to people that's just coming in. Hey, Harlem Romeo. I'm sure she's under tremendous pressure. She has to prove herself, especially considering the circumstance of how she ended up the candidate. Well, we see it with Biden. And now we're seeing it with Kamala. It's just a trickle down effect. If she can't handle the pressure, then how's she going to handle it as the president-elect? So she's going to have to handle the pressure and stop trying to just win. Not only are they trying to win the Black vote, they're trying to win the young vote. That's why they have Megan the Stallion, the Stallion, and all these other things. Do I want to see Kamala twerking? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Stop. You're trying too hard, sis. Stop it. But they want the young vote. It's going to be interesting who wins the battle states. I've been watching Wisconsin really hard. That's going to be interesting. And yeah, I don't know who's in the lead right now, but I know after they want to say that Kamala's in the lead, Trump was in the lead. All right. Maybe not by much, but he was in the lead. Yes, Biden, but Kamala reminded Trump. What is this? Yes, Biden, but Kamala reminded Trump with quickness that he is running against her, not Biden. Kamala is sharp, but when you watch her and you watch her at a rally, she stands there for a long time and says nothing. She doesn't talk about plans. She's what is her slogan? We're not going back or something like that, or something like that. I'm not sure. Very cliche-ish, but is that it? We're not going back. She's acting as if Trump is trying to take us back somewhere. His slogan is "Make America Great Again." America first. Protect our country, protect the borders. We all know what he stands for. And Trump, they like to say that he's trying to tell women what to do with their bodies. No, he talks about late-term abortions. Protect the babies, right? But he said it's up to the state to determine the laws on abortions. He's not telling the states or women that they can't get treatment or whatever, especially for ectopic pregnancies. some people are trying to use a false argument that Trump is trying to deny treatment for that. No, no, that you can't do that. There's no law preventing women from getting treatment for an ectopic pregnancy, not in any state. So, anyways, there's a lot of things that we have to consider, and all this other stuff with Diddy and everything else is a distraction from what's really going on. We have this election coming up in this is already under 2 months. So I don't really hear too many people talking about that. They're talking about all this other stuff, the Young Thug trial, but even bigger than that is this Diddy thing, right? And I'm going to be watching as well, so I'm not trying to shame anybody, but I'm more interested in this stuff. Camel almost seems too thirsty, wanting power so badly. Perhaps she just wants a chance. I've seen her work in California. I'm not impressed. I feel that she's for herself. When she's changing her accent to speak to certain people, she doesn't talk like that, right? And making it seem like she separated herself from the Black race. And what does she say? She's not doing, when it comes to reparations, out the door, won't consider it, said everything she's going to do is going to be for all people. So the reparation talk is out the window, right? The Republicans are the ones that were pushing for the bill, bill to be passed. I think it's interesting that the Black Caucus here in California and the Democrats denied the reparation bill that was sitting on the floor. They denied it, and I'm not understanding why. It's like it's already. Do I think it's going to happen? Sadly, but it's not going to happen because our own people are saying that the Blacks don't deserve it. No, we don't want it. They consider it a handout. It's not a handout if it's something old. It's a debt that hasn't been paid and that was stolen. And that money didn't just disappear. It helped keep the 1%. It kept them wealthy. All these decades later, that's a debt that needs to be paid. They say, "Oh, America can't afford it." We can very much afford it. Okay, we have a foreign aid, and they can afford it. But as long as people don't think so, they never get paid out. And the bill was denied by the Democratic Party in California, so that's a setback. What's good, Mac? Hey, Mac, what's good with you? Mac, I try to tell them. So we talked about the insurrection. I know we're on the same team as far as that goes. Talked about the insurrection, how I know it was not an insurrection. Kamala, how she's trying to push her race, trying to push the Black thing. She doesn't really talk about issues and things like that. She says nothing. She knows that some people just don't like Trump, hate Trump, and so they're trying to really make her into something that she's not. She's trying too hard. I agree with Vibrant. She's just too thirsty. And I'm not trusting it, you guys. She separated herself from the Black race. But even if I take all of that out, her wanting just anybody, we can't have an open border. No country has an open border. We can't just let people in. There's a lot of reasons why we can't. And you do have to protect jobs, and we should be able, the benefits that they want to give people that haven't been here that American citizens can't get themselves is just sad. It's sad. We got to take care of our own people. It's on our face. The blatant it's in our face. Blatant identity politics and outright lies. It's right there. You know? So, again, you guys, y'all know I could talk about politics all day. I've been wanting to talk about the debate, and I went through what I went through, and I was like, I ain't talking about nothing. I just shut down completely. So now I have all these things that have just been in there, and I feel like those are the things that I don't feel like those are the things that I want to talk about, along with other things. But no. It's been hard, yeah. So I'm trying my best to get back on track. But again, I don't want to come here every day and say that. So I just have to get back on track, right? You have any final thoughts for me? I'm going to, I don't know. I am going to, I'm going to get some rest. I thank y'all for hanging out with me. I thank you guys for conversing with me and just chatting with me. It does help a lot. And tomorrow's gonna be another day. Protect your mental health. Take care of yourself. If you're not feeling well, don't let this app get to you. These people, like, you really have to shut it off sometimes and protect your peace. When things on this application starts to affect your life and you're not feeling well, turn it off, because these people don't care. It's always fun to watch somebody else go through stuff, but when it's happening to you, I'm gonna say, I see content creators, right? I'm focusing on the content creators at this moment, where they're all for the shits and giggles, right? They're all for the doxing, they're for all this stuff. And then they're in the spotlight and it's their turn, and people are putting out phone conversations and recordings and messages, and we're like, whoa, so you were with it, but now that it's happening to you, you don't like it. But it's okay when it's somebody else. It's okay if it's somebody else's kid, but when it's your kid, you don't like it. So I try to be very mindful of that. I have this platform. I'm not trying to, I don't dox. I don't do those things. I don't like it done to me. And it's interesting that some people that partake in it, when it happens to them, they don't like it. And all I'm telling you guys is protect your mental health. A lot of people on here have mental health issues. We can see it. We can see it. Spend some time with your thoughts by yourself. That's what I'm gonna do right now. On that note, that's right, Mike. On that note, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. Bye bye.